Well, you guys are not going to believe this because this is the first time this has ever happened since the launch of ARK Survival Ascended, and it's happened ever since the launch of the Lost Colony DLC. This is a really good sign that things are going in the right way. I'm not saying that things are perfect. ARK has still got a long way to go to get to a better spot. I'm personally really enjoying this DLC. I think it's a lot of fun. I think the creatures are great, and I think they've put a lot of effort into it, and you can clearly see that. Again, I know there's issues with like floating rocks and little issues that like that, and there's obviously a big sort of side of the PvP community where they're saying that, you know, they're sort of saying everything that wildcard release isn't good for PvP, so there's that kind of thing in ARK Ascended, which is different to Survival Evolved, but this is pretty crazy. We're going to be reading through it now. If you guys do enjoy, drop a like, subscribe, it really supports me. Thank you to the amazing support for everyone over the Lost Colony launch and our amazing community. And I have just given away 5 Lost Colony DLC codes over in the LoadedCrysis cluster with many more holiday giveaways to go. So if you want to get involved, play on our servers, and you want to get involved in giveaways too, the link to our Discord is down below for the free servers. So here we are, and it's 2025, nearly 2026, and ARK Survival Ascended has mostly positive recent reviews. Can you believe, for the first time in history since Ascended has launched, we are in the mostly positive section of recent reviews? This has blown my mind, and ARK has probably been one of the games that, you know, ARK Survival Evolved has lots of love, but when Ascended launched, it's been filled with mixed and negative reviews for such a long time, and the overall views are still only 59% of the reviews are positive, and it is going to take ARK Survival Ascended a long time to be able to turn that around, because it's been a pretty broken game for a while, and on launch Ascended was awful. Like the island was great and I had really a lot of fun, but there was 6 months from when the island launched straight through to Scorched Earth. It was a mess. It was a huge mess, and I completely understand why that is. But for the first time in history, the game's been getting better. They're adding more. We've got another Unreal Engine update coming in the future, and Lost Colonies just launched, which is a lot of people are having fun on. I'm seeing it within my community. I'm seeing it with other communities, and people are saying that this DLC generally is the most fun they've had in a while. It brings a whole new narrative to the game. I know the story. I saw one of the lore experts in the community, Nano, say he was really upset that the lore still needs a lore update, like they're missing things. For the people that are like lore nerds in the ARK community. But let's hop in now to some of these reviews. Right, so basically we're gonna see, I mean, these are the most recent ones, so we're gonna see definitely a mixture of, I mean, this one was posted on the 24th of November, so this doesn't really matter, but we're gonna go for the most recent ones. We're gonna see a mixture of love and hate within this, but overall there's been more positivity. So it says, looks slightly better and performs equally than the old game, only if you use console commands and low settings, otherwise it performs very badly. Here's an ini command that you can do, and yeah, I mean, playing without cloud and fog really does help. And to be honest, you know, one of my criticisms to ARK is that, you know, I've got an RTX 580, and it has run really well for a while, and since the Lost Colony patch, my game has really sort of struggled more. I've been like not being able to fly around the map when I'm doing admin work, and I've not been able to get around without sort of freezing. Now again, this could be down to me, like I might uninstall the game, sort out my SSD, you know, this is again probably down to me, but I just noticed it since the patch. So yeah, there's a few not recommended versions, but I'm interested to see more of the people saying it's a great game, but I'm interested to see what the recommended ones and why this is mostly positive, and we will look at some non-recommended ones. But performance feels unoptimized relative to other Unreal Engine 5 games. Although it has its own unique issues different than ASE, it brings a whole new frontier to an old flame worth every penny. That was a recent one. Are we on? Can we change it to where is it? Review type. So there's 53,000 positive and 36,000 negative. Where is it? I've never actually looked before where you can go date range. Maybe I'll show. Let me just sort this out. There we go. Recent. That is what we need. Okay, that's a great review from Squidge. Thank you very much. So base game and DLC equals something like $100. I have 2,500 hours and climbing. Buy it, play the game, get ratios, search your feelings. You know what you must do. Join us. This is a more recent one, a not recommended one. I won't lie, I was quite excited to play it on PC because on PlayStation there was a few odd issues like the game freezing and some bugs, but to my surprise the game is probably a lot worse on PC. The fact I have to update the game every day and yet the game still locks me in a place when I first spawn so I cannot move, and when I try to sprint to one of my dinos the game freezes, or when I was chasing raptor claws the game would suffer. It wasn't that my FPS was dropping or anything like that, it was just the game was struggling to run. Every day I had to give up a game so that I could play this for the day, and the next day I have to update it for another bug created and make the game even worse. It's a shame because Evolve wasn't as bad as this, and Ascended was so hyped up only for it to be ruined by bugs that the devs can't be bothered to fix or even listen to the community. I wish I didn't give the game so many chances to redeem itself, otherwise it would have been refunded already. So I do think this has got some fair points in this review. Like, if you are playing ARK Ascended, you will run into bugs. But there's, for me, I again have this issue. I still crash loads. It is again not optimized to my liking either. It's not optimized to everyone's liking. There's major issues. But the problem is, it's still very fun. So you're kind of in like this place of like the game's driving you mad, still like the Evolve days with this. The crashes are still, for me, pretty much the same. But there is so much new content that's in Ascended that keeps me coming back all the time. What else have we got here? Think the devs do really care, considering they have given so much DLC for free with ASA. I give them my respect. I think that's also a fair reply. They have worked very hard on bringing back the ASA DLCs, the ASE DLCs for free, and I know they've done their Bob's Tall Tales stuff, and that's been really cool, and I know that ASA really didn't need to be a thing. I'm happy ASA is a thing because it's a very good game. I still believe deep down that if there's any chance they could have rebuilt the code on ASE, sorry, and maybe revamped that to be ASA, maybe that would have been better, but that could have destroyed the game because the household name of ARK Survival Evolved is so well known. So yeah, some people put amazing game. You would think after 2 years of updates it would be better optimized than it was when it first launched. Sadly, at least on my system, the game got worse, and with each and every update and expansion, if you have a ridiculously strong system you might have better performance, but for medium to low systems I suggest you not getting this, and in case you're okay with many stutters, drop frames from 30 down to 10. Yeah, I mean, that is the case, but to be honest, ARK Ascended is so weird the way it works. It's so weird. It's like it does struggle, but then randomly one day it's like the most smoothest game ever. It's very hit and miss. One moment you're having the most amazing experience, and the next moment you boot up your PC or your console and you have like the worst experience ever, and then you have to wait a little bit, a few restarts, and it all of a sudden decides, oh, it's found a good pocket of playtime, and it will let you enjoy it. It's very weird. It kind of picks and chooses. There's a lot of negative ones still here, but yeah, it's weird. It is fun. You don't have a. Is it fun? What? I don't understand. Those of this stuff isn't as insightful as I thought it was gonna be. Good dinos. Best game, no more, no less. Yeah, I mean, to me, this isn't screaming. Okay, we've actually got someone who's put, this game is beautiful and fun. I like all the new story, and the mod list. The mods make the game so much more unique to how you want it. The only problem is I have is the leveling up process. It took quick and makes the game a bit confusing. Otherwise, the game is awesome. You should try it. Many dinosaurs to tame, and it's not as hard as you think. Just trap it in a structure and then trank it. This sounds like this guy is a really new player to Ark Survival Ascended. But let's go and now look at some, so they've got loads and loads and loads of positive ones recently, but let's go and have a look at the Lost Colony ones, because Lost Colony is still, because it did have a bit of a rocky launch, is still in the mixed side. So we're on the Lost Colony page, and it has 114 reviews. 60% of the 114 users are positive. So, again, you get hit by some very interesting, very, very detailed. Is it still on most recent? I don't know if it's still on most recent. Recently posted. Oh dear. Hey, there's Nano. Nano's there. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, recent. That's what we want. Love Ark, but unplayable on the lowest settings with RX 66. Alright, okay. So, 6650 XT with my 21.9 monitor. Okay. One of the worst DLCs ever. They're ripping Ark 2 features and using them as a DLC for ASA because they know Ark 2 is dead on arrival. Creator of Ark did an interview recently where he literally says that the skill system is something they ripped from Ark 2. They said that Ark 2 was gonna be a Souls-like, which is the new tech spear reflects. On top of that, all these new broken features like Veil Wind, Dragon Chest, that break the game balance at almost every stage for PvP. Besides all those recently added problems, the game still houses cheaters at a level I've never seen in gaming. Absolutely every single small tribes PvP server is ran by a group of cheaters that spend upwards of $100 on cheats per month just to stay on top or defend themselves from other cheaters. Does seem to be the issue that I see with a lot of PvP players. Better than I dared hoping it would be. First time in years that I don't actually know how I do everything in the game, and it's very refreshing. This is a comment that I've seen a lot from people. Like, I've seen a lot of people saying that this is the best sort of excitement they've had on a DLC because they just don't know how to do everything. You know, like, it's refreshing, it's new. Just fix the issue with the random lag spikes. Yeah, this is an issue. There is overspawning, I do agree, like 100 frogs. This is being talked about on the Reddit. There's like 100 baryonyx. So I'll play again and change once that is fixed. Cheers for adding 1 million manners and making them glitchy so when you're starting out, they aggro from 50 miles away and impossible to escape. Yes, this did happen to me. I really like how they do the story in this. Great job, Wildcard. Need more like this, but the FPS in the city is really bad. Yeah, I can agree with that. The map is so buggy and doesn't run well. One example of clunky gameplay you will encounter is swimming in the rivers. Unbelievable. I like it. Good. Here's Nano's review. So Nano put a lot into this. So this is probably gonna be a long one to read through because he's put some real detail into this. So with the Ark 2's release date pushed back to the late 3069, as a result of Vin Petrol signing a contract for the Fast and Furious 1242, Wildcard can't help to retroactively turn the evergreen Ark experience that is Survival Ascended into Ark 2 through mechanics like NPC factions, skill trees, NPCs, and Souls-like combat, and by God, it does work. The NPCs are not only fun to both raid and defend, but their introduction came with something else no Ark players ever asked for. The ability to make your survivor not look like the product of 700 through the advanced new facial customization options, which is pretty cool if you haven't seen that. I'm too lazy to talk about the other stuff, so let's move on to the map. Lost Colony's Rat Prime is at the city of Extinction Sanctuary. Extinction Sanctuary wishes it was what I wish it was. Not only does it look like a living, breathing city, but it acts like one too. As much like the real world, I agree with this by the way, running around naked and mauling lampposts like a chimpanzee will force the DLC, the Lost King, to sink. What is going on here? What is Nano? What is this? What the way that he's explaining it. Come on, there's children that watch this. Jeez. But anyway, this is the part that I actually wanted to talk about. It was about that basically that he's saying at the end of this properly utilizes UE5 to its advantage only took them 2 years. The worst part of the story of Lost Colony, ironically, it's his story. Despite being an attempt to really flesh out the storytelling methods we've seen in DLCs past, through CGI, mapper animation, and narrative explorer notes, Lost Colony's story is an overwhelmingly disappointment. Characters and plot points which were set to be continued here as long as 7 years ago have all but been abandoned, and what little plot we actually do get is filled with inconsistencies, mischaracterizations, and continual errors and plot holes, which most are caused by half of the arse shoehorning of previously non-canonical story elements from the ARK animated series into the game's separate community. I could drone on about how the story is a betrayal to what fans have been expecting, and I was hoping that after these 7 long years, but to be quite frank, thinking about it hurts me somewhere deep in my soul, as Lost Colony was easily the most free narrative slam dunk Wildcard could have accomplished, and yet somehow it falls so terribly short. Overall, while the story being as lifeless as the thralls of a rat prime drains the colour from me more than any vampire could, I do recognise that despite Wildcard's effort, those interested in ARK's lore as much as I am still form a niche part of the player base, so throwing those personal qualms aside, taking into account both DLC's exceptionally fun gameplay loop and beautifully crafted high detail map, I say it's worth the time for any legitimate interested ARK player. Unless you play PvP, you probably hate Lost Colony in the same way your tribe mates secretly hate you. I mean, Nano, you've definitely got some sass to you, I have to say. But anyway, so yeah, apparently, so basically, if I was just to do a summary of the DLC, if you're someone that likes, like, the story of ARK, you'll enjoy it. If you're a lore nerd, maybe it will really frustrate you. I got into the lore a little bit recently, but for me, I'm not a lore nerd of ARK. So, like, there's been times I've really got into it and I've been excited, but it's not like, for me, I look at every fine detail or anything. I personally really like what they've done with it. I think if you're a PvE player and you're looking for a lot of fun, I do think you'll find it with Lost Colony. I know that my cluster are having an absolutely amazing time playing the DLC, and I just think, yeah, it's one of those things that some people will like it, some people will not, it's mainly, again, the negative reviews and the mixed reviews come from mainly performance, and that, again, I think is always going to be ARK's key issue as a game, is, you know, to get itself, if we come back to this here, to get itself into the mostly positive area of the overall reviews, to be able to get there, they need to focus on issues and somehow making it that we're not having those day one issues like huge memory leaks and whatnot, and huge delays, and until they get to that point, which I don't know whether they ever will, it's gonna be faced with these kind of reviews. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video over the Christmas break. Can you believe it? 2 days till Christmas, and I'll see you guys there.